as well. But listen, we'll keep on the subject of box office. This is box office projections. It's early Black Widow box office projections even, predict $115 million opening weekend. Early box office projections for Black Widow predict the Marvel Studios Phase 4 movie will open to $115 million domestically in its opening weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen, that's not too bad at all, is it? For a standalone movie, for a character that's already bit the bullet.
Yeah.
She's dead. I mean, it's gone back and forth, flipping all over the place. 1990s, I believe. And then going forward to the events between Civil War and Age of Ultron. I don't think that's a bad opening at all. It's certainly not the best opening, but they do say in another article related how it kind of matches up to other MCU releases.
Yeah.
It's not quite as good as the likes of Captain Marvel, which opened to $153.4 million. But I think just the way they shoehorned the Carol Danvers character in, being a huge part in the likes of Endgame, just how this character was going to be introduced.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that Captain Marvel's quite powerful. She's this cosmic sort of superhero. I think that maybe helped propel that. I think now when we get a Captain Marvel 2 with Brie Larson's sort of connection, a lot of people don't like her. I don't think that'll open quite as big.
No.
I don't think it's a fair comparison as well with this being a sort of past flashback movie, if you like. And when you do compare it to the likes of Spider-Man Far From Home, it's not too bad. It opened to $95.5 million. So that's opening in a similar range to Spider-Man. And I mean, that's a brand, that's Tom Holland. Yeah. And that was a fantastic movie. So I don't think it's a negative, this movie opening to $115 million. No. The Marvel movies always have legs. They'll always have people going and watching it. People appreciate Scarlett Johansson, what she did with this character for 10, 11 years. They'll go out and watch this movie multiple times. It will probably gross between at least $600 and $800 million, I would imagine. Yeah. If things don't hit the fan and it goes wayward with people not being able to go to theatres and whatnot. It's way above the likes of Ant-Man and the Wasp as well, $75.8 million, so it's nowhere near the worst in the John, sort of MCU history.
Have you ever wondered, though, why this wasn't part of Phase 3, like the last film in Phase 3? Why open in Phase 4 with this film? You know?
Strange. Thrown at a bone.
Well, I think partly, yeah, but I also think as well, John, a lot of people are done with MCU now. They've seen the slate for Phase 4. You know, you're sort of people that don't like The Last Jedi. Those type of people, you know.
Yes.
They've got their own agenda, you know, and I think opening with this kind of clings on to the past a little. You're right. I think opening with 115 million is pretty good for, as you said, a character that's bit the dust, and it's going to be based on flashback stories.
I'm excited
you
for it.
You might get the likes of maybe Steve Rogers or Tony Stark appearing. I think we'll get Tony Stark, definitely. You know, and it's going to be nostalgia ridden, let's be honest. But that's not to do any disservice to the Natasha Romanoff character either, John. Over the last 10 or so years, this character has formed into a very popular character for the MCU. An emotional ending to the character as well. When you think about the actual scene and the sequence was just a replica of the one from Infinity War with different characters, it still had an emotional impact, certainly for Clint, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think those projections are pretty. I would agree with that. I don't think it's going to be far off that, John.
No.
And I think it's an impressive opening as well if that happens for this type of film as well.
Absolutely, Stephen. Look, the final thing I would add, they rightly say in this other Cinema Blend article, that the final barometer of success for this movie will be its overall box office cum. All three Marvel movies in 2019 grossed over $1 billion. This is going to be quite a year anyway for film in terms of blockbusters and whatnot.
Yeah.
And with obviously No Time to Die now being delayed to November, it really opens the door for Black Widow to maybe go. I mean, when's Wonder Woman 1984 coming out? But it's not hugely packed, so they need to really punch above their weight here, Disney, Marvel, to try and even come close to what they did in 2019 in terms of financial figures.
Yeah.
The Eternals is still a big unknown. We don't know how people will connect with those characters and whatnot, so look, I'm excited for it though, man. It's got a great cast, the likes of Rachel Weisz, Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Also, Scarlett Johansson, this Taskmaster villain as well looks cool. Can steal different abilities.
Yeah.
Apparently they have claws or something like Black Panther. So it gives me vibes of Ant-Man and the Wasp, where you have that sort of ghost character flitting in and out, and I'm sure there'll be other more nefarious things happening in the shadows. Apparently Rachel Weisz is playing a sort of big bad who turns midway through, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it'll be a great movie, and it's a payoff and a send-off for
I
that
think
character.
so, John. I don't think it's very fair to say it's a safe movie, you know. In the sort of scheme of things, yes, you know, when you put it up against like the Eternals, it's not been tried and tested. It's kind of gone into the unknown.
Yeah.
You know, so you're right, but we'll move on, John, to our next article.